In the heart of Montana's dense forest, a blood-chilling discovery unleashes an ancient evil that hunts those who dare to disturb sacred land. When an archaeological team unearths a mysterious chained box buried beneath an abandoned temple, they unknowingly release a terrifying headless spirit whose severed head and body were sealed away by tribal magic generations ago. As team members start vanishing one by one, found hanging lifeless from trees, a Native American reveals the dark truth. The spirit wasn't just imprisoned to protect the tribe, but now serves as nature's vengeful guardian against corporate greed threatening to destroy the ancient forest. This spine-chilling tale explores how disturbing sacred grounds and exploiting natural resources can awaken forces beyond human control, where ancient tribal warnings become modern-day nightmares. It was midnight. In the middle of a dense forest, a man wearing tribal attire was engrossed in some tantric ritual. In front of him was a coffin-like box, and nearby he had lit a sacred fire for the ritual. The man wore a necklace of human skulls. Chanting mantras in some strange language, he repeatedly offered handfuls of materials to the fire. This was all so terrifying that it was enough to make anyone's soul shiver. At the end of his tantric ritual, he sacrificed an animal and bathed the coffin with its blood. Suddenly, there was a commotion around, and a strong whirlwind began to rise. The jackals in the area began howling in unison, and lightning struck in the sky. Along with it, the man performing the ritual gets up and starts laughing loudly. It was around 8 p.m. After a long 6-hour journey, a team of 20 people had reached the middle of Montana's dense forest. This forest was surrounded by sea on 3 sides, and except for 1 or 2 small villages nearby, nothing else was visible. According to the archaeological department, this is the location where coal deposits have been reported. "We need to clear this forest and start excavation work," said the boss. "It's getting dark now. For now, let's find a suitable place nearby and set up our camp." "You're probably right," the boss agreed. Everyone started moving forward in the forest, holding their torches. "Sir, I just saw 2 red glowing eyes. There's something here." "Must be wild animals, what else? Let's go back to our bus and spend the night there. Walking in the jungle after dark doesn't seem safe to me." "I also just heard someone running. Feels like there's definitely something around us." Hearing the boss's words, everyone starts heading back to their bus. The entire team spent the first night in the bus. The next day at 5 a.m., as soon as the sun's rays hit, everyone comes out of the bus. "Okay, let's start work after getting fresh. Will we find any laborers in the nearby area? The work will finish faster." "There are 1 or 2 villages nearby, but no one is willing to work here. They say years ago some tribal groups lived in this forest, but for some reason they suddenly left the forest overnight." "Why? Where did they go?" "No one knows." As they were talking and moving forward in the forest, their eyes fall on a tree. "Sir, look at that tree. Doesn't it look strange to you all?" "Oh my God, this is very strange. It looks like a face rather than a tree." As they moved further into the forest, they encountered more strange and terrifying things. On some trees, they saw hanging cloth dolls, on others human skulls, and some trees had strange signs carved into them whose meaning they couldn't understand. Slowly, the tree-cutting work begins. Suddenly, they discover a broken temple hidden behind dense trees. "Sir, someone must have lived around here before. That's why they built this temple. But I'm worried about why they left, because I've heard that tribal people never leave their land and forest so easily." "Hey, what do we care? We're not here to research tribals. Get this demolished quickly and start the excavation work too." After demolishing the temple, the excavation work had also begun. As soon as the workers start digging the temple, they feel something like a box about 25 feet below. "Sir, there's something down here." "Take it out. Let's see what it is." Out of curiosity, the workers bring out the box. Sir, look at this box. Someone has wrapped it with an iron chain. Should we cut this chain? Not only that, look at these strange symbols carved on the box. Brother, I'm telling you right now, if there's any treasure inside, I want my share too. Everyone standing there smiles at James's words. As soon as they strike the iron chain with a hammer to break it, the wild animals of the forest, dogs, wolves, and jackals, start howling terribly together. The sun shining overhead seems to hide behind clouds in fear, and darkness begins to spread even during the day. A flock of owls suddenly flies in the sky and covers the entire sky. What's happening, sir? Isn't all this becoming very mysterious? We're already standing in the middle of the forest, and on top of that, everything that's happening is making me very nervous. The next hammer blow cuts the chain. When they open the box after removing the chain, what they see there stuns everyone. Oh my God, what is this? We probably shouldn't have opened this box. Whatever was inside the box was enough to shock Sarah, Lisa, Boss, Rachel, and James. Their screams at seeing the opened box seemed to get stuck in their throats. Close it! Bury it back where it was! Sir, why would someone bury someone like this so deep in the ground by cutting them up this way? I don't understand all this. There are some mantras written in another script along with the skull inside the box, but I can't understand what these mantras mean or what they say. This all seems like some other kind of mystery. I think someone has buried this here after doing some black magic. You notice those strange symbols carved on the trees? Similar symbols are drawn inside this box too. There must be some connection between all this. Sir, what should we do with this box? Let's take it and give it to the archaeological department. It might be of some use to them. After working all day, everyone was exhausted. It was 8 p.m. and darkness had started spreading all around. All the people working on site had set up their tents at some distance. Due to exhaustion, everyone soon fell into deep sleep. Suddenly, late at night, Rachel's sleep breaks. It feels like someone is outside the tent and calling her. Finally, after seeing a shadow repeatedly waving outside the tent, Rachel comes out. There's no one visible here. From inside, I kept seeing someone's shadow repeatedly. Could it have been Lisa who came to call me and went back when I didn't respond? Is she in some trouble? Thinking this, Rachel starts walking towards Lisa's tent, which was set up a little distance away. Suddenly, she starts hearing footsteps behind her. Rachel turns around, startled, but there was no one behind. Beads of sweat had now started appearing on her forehead. She walks quickly towards Lisa's tent. Then she starts hearing footsteps on leaves more intensely. Rachel turns around once again and sees a shadow behind her. Due to the darkness, she couldn't understand who it was. Who are you? What do you want? Why are you following me? As soon as Rachel says this, that shadow comes very close to her with lightning speed. When it removes its hood near Rachel's face, she sees that there was just a headless body standing there. Its head was missing from the body, and blood was continuously flowing from the neck. Seeing this, Rachel starts screaming with all her might. Then she feels hot breath hitting her face from another direction. Rachel turns and sees a terrifying head floating in the air. The head floating in the air without a body looked so horrifying that Rachel's blood froze seeing it. Before Rachel could understand anything, a long hand pierces through her chest. Rachel's heart-wrenching scream echoes through the entire forest, and she falls right there. The next moment, long matted hair tangles in her feet, and she gets hung upside down on a tall tree. Rachel's scream was so terrifying that almost everyone came out of their tents hearing it. Whose scream was that? Something very dangerous just happened. Look around, is everyone safe? Is anyone missing from among us? Sir, Rachel isn't here. Everyone take torches and go in groups in different directions. We'll find Rachel soon. Won't let anything happen to her. Everyone sets out to look for Rachel in groups of 3. Suddenly, something drips from a tree onto Mike. Mike looks up at the tree with his torch, and he screams. Rachel was hanging upside down from the tree branch, and blood was dripping down from her body. The entire team was in deep shock from Rachel's death. Now, no one was ready to go back to their tents. Somehow, after spending the night sitting around a fire, the next morning was very painful for everyone. "We won't stay here, sir. The job can go to hell. What's the use of such a job? The government hasn't made any arrangements for our security. But this area has been marked safe by the forest team. There are no dangerous animals in this direction, and no animal can kill and hang someone upside down like this. This is something else." Everyone was talking when once again they feel like someone is hiding nearby and listening to their conversation. "Who's there?" As soon as the boss says this, someone starts running from there, whom Mike and James catch after chasing. "Who are you? What were you doing here? Did you kill Rachel? This looks like a tribal person. Tell us, what were you doing here?" "This forest was our home, but we had to leave it. It's been 15 years since we don't live here. But when I found out you people are coming here to dig for coal, I couldn't stay away and came to see if you people are okay." "Why? What would happen to us? Tell us clearly, why did you kill Rachel?" "Why would I kill her? But if you know the truth, you'll be shocked. You've made a big mistake coming here. Now no one will survive in this forest. A headless one lives here. He's very terrifying. He doesn't spare anyone. He bathes in blood every night. Our entire tribe lived in terror of him for years. See these signs on the trees? We did this black magic to protect ourselves from him. Our tribe's tantric told us whatever measures to protect ourselves. We did all that so he wouldn't come near us. But still, someone or the other would fall into his grip. His favorite prey is women with soft bodies. But don't think you'll escape. In our tribe, we worship the priestess who serves our forest goddess like the goddess herself. One day, she was performing worship in the goddess temple. She had the goddess's sword in her hand. Suddenly, she heard a tribal girl scream. Hearing the scream, she also ran in that direction. Before the headless one could hunt that girl, she struck his body with the sword. Perhaps it was the power of the goddess's sword that his body fell lifeless to one side from her strike. She struck the headless one several times and quickly took the girl to her parents. By then, the tribal people had also gathered there. "This won't end so easily. He will stand up again in a while. We need to separate his head from his body, so we can't get his body back." With the tantric's help, through a ritual, the evil one's head was locked in a coffin, chained up and buried under the temple, and his body was buried in a different location. Both coffins were bound with the power of mantras, so he couldn't come back out. Even after all this, our tribe didn't get freedom from that headless one's curse. A terrible epidemic spread in the entire tribe. People started dying. Even drinking water became contaminated. The tribal people started considering this place cursed and then left this forest. So is this place really cursed? Yes, you didn't do well by taking him out. He has come back. It will be very difficult to stop him now. What, boss, are you also believing his stories? There are no ghosts or spirits. I think he killed Rachel. Everyone was listening to the tribal man's story when they hear another scream. Did anyone go towards the forest? Yes, sir. Lisa Madam had to go to the bathroom, so she went towards the quiet forest. Damn, quick, let's go. This boy is telling the truth. Lisa's life is in danger. You can't do anything, sir. He must have taken the madam. Leave her, save your lives, and get out of here. Okay, I'll call headquarters. Everyone get in the bus. The boss keeps trying his phone repeatedly, but his phone had no network in the area. Everyone checks their phones, but no one's phone was working. Leave the phones. Everyone get to the bus. They all rush towards the bus, and the driver starts the bus. The bus was moving slowly when suddenly Mike sees that same terrifying head floating outside the bus window. And in the blink of an eye, a long hand comes and pulls Mike out of the moving bus and throws him to the ground, causing blood to spurt from his head, killing him instantly. Driver, drive the bus at full speed. Don't stop for anyone who comes in front. The driver tries very hard to start the bus, but the bus just wouldn't move forward. Sir, I don't know what's happening. The bus won't start. We'll all die. No one will survive. You all stay here waiting for your death. I'm leaving. Ruby gets off the bus and starts running. Two people run after her to stop her. Suddenly, they both fall after hitting a large rock, and Ruby runs ahead. Why are you following me? Go away. I won't come with you people anymore. I'll go to some village and ask for help. I want to live. Saying this, Ruby turns around and screams. The Headless One was standing right behind her. The Headless One's long hand comes and wraps around her neck like a rope, and Ruby dies right there. Ruby's body and the bodies of the two who had run after her were hanging upside down from trees not far from each other. Hearing Ruby scream, panic spreads among the surviving people, and they run here and there in the forest to save their lives. In their failed attempt to save their lives, one by one, everyone becomes prey to the Headless One, and the entire forest echoes with terrifying screams. They'll have to pay for trying to destroy our forest, won't they? They came to destroy everything for coal, right? Now anyone will be scared even to step here. Don't you want to know the whole story? Years ago, after imprisoning the Headless One, everything had become normal. Suddenly one day, everyone started getting sick after drinking water from the river flowing through our forest. The river water became poison. It wasn't the Headless One's curse. Chemicals were deliberately mixed in it, so we would die drinking it and the forest would be empty. The curse for the forest wasn't the Headless One. It was those people who are ready to do anything for money. Just as the tribe had the mantra to imprison the Headless One, we also have the mantra to awaken him. When the forest came under threat, I took out the Headless One's body from its coffin and awakened it with the power of mantras for the forest's protection. The Headless One wanders in this very forest, waiting for his next prey. Whoever comes to hunt the forest will become his prey. If you enjoyed this haunting tale from the depths of Montana's forest, don't forget to hit subscribe and join our community of horror enthusiasts. Share this story with someone who loves a good supernatural thriller about ancient spirits and sacred lands. Drop a comment below telling us what you think really happened to the archaeological team. Was it truly the Headless Spirit? Or is there more to this mystery than meets the eye? Remember to turn on notifications to catch our next spine-chilling story. Like and share this video to help us keep these terrifying tales alive. Until next time, sleep tight and maybe think twice before disturbing ancient burial grounds. See you in our next nightmare.